Hi, welcome to another great project by Maker's Loft. I'm going to show you how I make these colourful keyrings by using polymer clay. In your packs you would have received a range of polymer clay colours, some tassel thread, some keyring cord, a gold keyring, some threading wire, a tassel cap, and just a rolling pin. And what you're going to need from home is just some scissors, an oven that's preheated to 120 degrees Celsius, a Stanley knife, but if you don't have that then you can just use a sharp kitchen knife. So first we're going to start off by making our polymer beads for our keyrings. So in order to do that we're going to need a clear workspace, so we're just going to remove everything off and just have our rolling pin and our polymer clay and our Stanley knife on the baking paper. We're going to be making 6 beads. This one only has 5, but here's some examples. So we've got some spacer beads here, and then we've got some more design beads like this. So right now I'm going to be making 3 spacer beads and 3 main beads like this to put on my keyring, and you can do 3 main one or more spacer beads. It's your choice because it's your design. And so I'm going to first show you guys how to make just a spacer bead. So that's just a plain bead. So I'm just going to start off by cutting my polymer in half, and you can get less of this if you want, or more, you can add more. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squish it together with my fingers and I'm going to roll it into a ball. So I'm going to put my hands like this and I'm just going to roll like this. I'm not going to roll on my baking paper because it's easier to roll it with both hands. So that's just a simple bead, but you can make it in whatever shape you want. So you can make it flat. So you can have a flat spacer bead like this, which looks quite nice. Or you can even put it into a square shape. It's your choice, your design, so you can do whatever you want. So that's just how you make a plain bead. It's very simple. So they're just really nice to use as little spacer beads, which look nice on the keyring. So that's my first spacer bead. I'll make that one flat. Go. And now I'm going to be making some more design beads like this. So I'm going to choose another color. So I might choose the white this time. And I'm going to do the same, I'm going to roll it. So we all know how to make just a plain round bead for now. And so to make these dots, what I'm going to be doing is with my knife, I'm going to choose another color. So I'm kind of going for a color theme here, a blue color theme. And then I might add some different colors in later. And so what I've done is I'm just cutting a tiny bit, like a tiny little ball. Might even do less than that because it flattens out once you put it on your bead. So I'm just going to pop it on like that, and I'm just going to roll it again, and that kind of flattens it out. And I'm just going to be doing that again, so I'm just going to stick them on wherever. And you get what I mean by making it all dotty. So now I've got my dotty ball, you can add some more dots, or what you can even do is you can put some other dots on top. Like I might put some yellow on. I'll do the same, I'll just grab even less. And I'll pop that on, just a little dot on top of the blue dot. And then I'll have it like this. But I just might keep it just blue dots for now. But you can do that and do whatever you want with that. So once I've made my 2 beads, you can do a much more intricate design if you want. I've just made it quite simple for the design, and then I've just made a spacer bead. So I've got 2 beads there. So now I'm going to show you guys how to make a swirl bead if you want. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to choose 2 different colors. I might choose some orange, and I'm going to choose some yellow. And what I'm going to do with this, I can move everything to the side just so then I have some room. I'm going to have my yellow and my orange. So I'm going to have the outside color. For example, that's the outside color, so I'm going to make that orange. And then this is when our rolling pin comes in handy. So I'm just going to squish it out into a bit more of an oval shape, like this. So it's kind of like that shape. Bit of a bean shape. And so with my rolling pin, I'm just going to go like that, back and forth. And so it's going to be a long oval shape once you try and roll it out. So I'm just going to keep on rolling it, but I don't want to make it too thin. Now I'm going to try and peel it off carefully because sometimes it can stick. And now I'm going to get the yellow one and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to make the same shape, roll it into a ball. And what I'm going to do once I've got both of them, both oval shapes, I'm going to put that on top of the orange. And now once I've got both oval shapes on top of each other, I'm going to roll it. And then once it's rolled, I'm going to get both hands and roll it out like this. And you can see that the yellow has been wrapped in there. So I've rolled that out, and once I've done that, I'm going to get my knife and I'm going to make little marks where I want to cut it, just so that I can get the spacing right first. The spacing doesn't have to be perfect, but just try and get as close as you can. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my knife and I'm going to cut it, but I'm not going to cut it down, I'm going to roll it while I cut it. So you're going to roll each piece, and once you start to cut it, it'll actually be quite cool because you'll start to see a little swirly shape in there. And I'm going to start to stick them together. So I've cut out 5, look like little lollies. And so once I've done that, I'm going to roll. Just if you want the swirls visible, you can kind of tuck in the sides so then you get less of the orange. And right there I've got my ball, kind of like a marble look to it. You can even mix it up a little bit more if you want it more marbly. And there you go. I've got this swirly bead. So that's how you do the swirl one. So I'm just going to put that there with my other beads. So now I'm going to be making my fourth bead, which is a confetti, if you want to know how to do the confetti bead. And so I'm just going to choose a purple as my background. I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to roll it like the other ones. So I've rolled out a purple ball as my bead, and then with the confetti, these are just black confetti things, but I'm going to be using different colors, and you can do the same if you want. You can do whatever color you want to do. And I'm going to get the tiniest little slice. So just get a tiny little bit of your clay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll that tiny little piece out so it's going to look a little bit like this. Once I've done that, I'm going to be cutting both sides of my confetti. And to make more, I might just cut that in half. So I've got two little confetti, like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it on, just put it in some random places, and then I'm going to roll. So this flattens it on my bead, and you can see it starts to look like confetti. And then I'm just going to go on and choose my different colors. So I finished my purple bead with all the different colors of confetti, and that's my fourth bead. So as you can see, I've made 4 beads. So 3 of them have a design on them, and then I've got one plain bead, which is my spacer bead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 more spacer beads, so that I've got 3 with designs on them and then 3 plain ones. So I'm going to go ahead and make my other 2 spacer beads. So now I've made my 6 beads. So you would have received a skewer from your pack, which looks like this. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to poke holes in the beads so then we can thread it through to make our key rings. Give it a wriggle around just to make the hole a little bit bigger. Okay, so now you have all the holes in your keyring and you'll be able to put it through the thread. So now we're going to be getting our oven tray with some baking paper on it. And we're going to be putting our beads on. We're just going to give them a little push down just so that they don't roll around when you put them on the oven tray. Once they're on the tray, you can put them in the oven to 120 degrees Celsius. Once you've removed your beads from the oven when they've cooled down, you can start your keyring making. So you're going to remove your cord off the cardboard and you're just going to unravel it and put it in front of you. Then what you're going to do is you're going to grab the center of your cord and you're just going to fold it in half so it's going to look like this, making sure both sides are centered. Then what we're going to do is on this side we're going to do a loose knot. So I'm going to grab that side and I'm just going to do a loose knot, and the reason why we do this loose knot at the end is so that we can undo it, so when we put the tassel on it won't still be there. we've got the knot, and then we're gonna get our threading wire, which is folded in half already, and you're gonna get one side of your threading wire, and you're gonna get the loop of the cord, and you're just gonna put the one side through and slip it in like this. And this helps us thread our beads on to the cord to make our key rings. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get this little cap in front of us, which the tassel goes in, and you're going to put it on a bit like a hat. So this side here, you're going to put through, slide it all the way through until it reaches that loose knot we have at the end. Now we've done that, we've put our cap on, our knot on, and our wire, putting my beads on, through the wire, and just near the cap, touching the end. So have that one on first, and then I'm going to choose which ones I want to go on after that. So I want them in this order, and then I'm just going to go along, slip them onto the cord. So there are all my beads on. I've got my beads and my spacer beads on there. I'm going to go along and put my gold keyring on. We're going to be putting it on this side, and we're going to be taking off the wire. We're going to be attaching this cord to this little chain here. So not this, on this chain. So what I'm going to get is I'm going to get the cord, and it's going to be folded in half like this. I'm going to pop through. So now it's like this. Once we've got enough and we've pulled it through along, we're going to get our fingers and we're going to grab the end, and we're going to pull all the beads through. So it's like this. They're going to all get pulled through the loop. So there we go, we've just put a slip knot on the end of this chain. Then we're just going to bring all the beads up to the top, and also the cap up to the top. What we can actually do now is undo our loose knot, and now we're going to get started with doing our tassel at the end of our key rings. So with our tassels, we're going to be putting them at the end where the cap is, and the cap is just going to sit over the tassel like you can see with these ones. So we've got 3 different colours that you're given. You can choose one colour from there, and I might choose blue. And when I take it off, I'm not going to unravel it, I'm just going to pull it off the cardboard, because we're going to need to be putting it on like this. So what I'm going to do with my rolled up tassel thread, I'm going to get one side of the cord and I'm going to put it through the loop of my tassel thread. Just going to pull it all the way up. So I put one side through the loop of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pull it to the side, and I'm going to get both sides, and I'm going to do 3 tight knots. So I'm going to do 1, 2, make sure you pull tight, and 3. So I've just put it through one side, and then with them together, I've done 3 knots. Then once you've done those 3 tight knots, you're gonna just pull your cap onto, so that's not fully pulled on, I'm just gonna pull it on to my tassel. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get these bits, and you're just not going to cut them too short. You're just going to cut them to about there, just so that they blend in with the rest of the thread, but not too short so then they don't come loose. Then to make it a tassel at the bottom like these ones, we're just going to chop on inside. Then you'll start to see a tassel forming, and there you go. And we've still got a little bit of uneven bits, and what I'm about to go and do is I'm just going to give it a little straight snippet at the bottom, just so that my tassel is straight. I've gone and cut it in a straight line. So once you finish making your keyring, you can do lots of different things with it. You can hang it on a school bag, you can hang it off any bag, or you can even put some keys on there. But I hope you've had fun making your own design of your keyring.